Hello everybody, my name is Mason, and welcome back to Mason Zero ASMR. I've got two cameras, because today I'm doing something a little wider. So, this video is going to be dedicated to a upcoming thing that I'm doing, which is building a custom gaming PC for one of my friends. And this building will be streamed live on Twitch, on my Twitch channel, Mason Zero Gaming, probably on Sunday the 13th. Yes, the 13th. Probably on Sunday the 13th. Not 100% decided yet, but that's probably when it will be. So mark your calendars. Follow me on Twitter for more updates at Mason Zero ASMR. But the point of this video here is going to be to go through the parts that I'm going to be building with. And I'll be showing you some of them and talking about them and why I made these choices. So the person that I'm building this PC for is my friend Amy. She is a friend from high school. I've known her for 10 years now, and she streams on Twitch. She's been doing so for, I'm not quite sure how long, 6 months or so. I'm not quite sure, but her Twitch name is God is a Girl, and she mostly plays things like The Sims 4 and other sort of simulation games like that. That's a big one. And she's been having a lot of fun, been doing really well. The main thing holding her back, gear-wise, has been her computer. She has a laptop that has no dedicated graphics card, and she's trying to play games and stream off of it at the same time. It's caused several streams to be cut short because of computer issues or just problems in general. So she is paying me to do this PC, and she's going to be coming down here, and on the 13th we're going to be building it together and live stream the process. So let's start with the parts. So this is the first part. This is the computer case. And this is the main reason why I have the wider angle camera here. So this case is the Dark Flash DLM21 Micro ATX case in white. So it has this nice 3D design here on the front, that I really like. The sort of diamonds and triangles and stuff. A nice glass panel with the plastic covering still on, of course, to protect it. And I believe it is tempered glass. On the front, or on the top rather, we have the power button and USB ports, headphone ports and things. On top we have a dust filter, magnetic dust filter with plenty of airflow holes here on the top, which is great. And on the back, things are pretty standard. We have the hole for the I/O of the motherboard, we have a rear exhaust fan, and we have some PCIe brackets. So, also on this side, it is plain, except for these holes, which this is how the fans will pull in air from the front, is through these holes, since the front is closed off. Cases like this are fairly popular right now, the most known being the NZXT H500, for example. It has a solid back, or solid front, I should say, and then it uses these little side vents to draw in air. Opening the case, it's actually magnetic, and it has this little pull tab, and then it just opens like so, very smoothly. Then we have the manual inside along with the cables, and of course the motherboard will go here, and cables can go in here, and there's a shroud for the power supply and hard drives. So, a very nice looking case, only costs $55. I actually got this one for $40. It was an Amazon warehouse deal, which usually would mean a return or something like that, but I can't figure out anything wrong with this, so I think it might have just been someone decided they didn't actually want it anymore. So that's awesome. So that is the case. Dark Flash DLM21. It'll all go in here. It's micro ATX, so it's relatively compact and small, which is also a request. So now we can move on to the other parts. So the body of the computer is going to be this, the ASRock B450M/AC. The B450M is the motherboard that I use in my personal computer, and it works great. I have a powerful graphics card and a powerful processor hooked up to it, and despite it being a very budget-oriented motherboard, it is incredibly good at cooling, overclocking, things like that. So this one is pretty much the same board, except it has Wi-Fi built in, which is a lot cheaper in this case than buying a dedicated Wi-Fi stick. So I'm not going to take it out of its packaging, but this, if you can see that, is the motherboard in its anti-static packaging. The processor will go here. Here's the I/O, the input-output. Graphics card goes here, and it's got the cooling VRMs, as they're called, voltage regulation modules. And the RAM goes there. There's the chipset. So yeah, that is our motherboard. Alright, so there's the motherboard. And here is the cat. Next up is the processor. So although the next generation of AMD Ryzen processors just recently came out, we're not going with one of those, mostly because the prices of the previous generation, 2000 series, are very low. So I went with this Ryzen 7 2700, not the 2700X, just the 2700, which is an 8-core processor, which is going to be awesome for gaming and streaming at the same time. So there's not much to say here. Here's the processor itself, and it comes with a cooler, which is the cooler that we will be using. I'm not sure. I'm not going to take out the cooler, but here's the processor even more close up, and then you can see all the pins. I'll just put that back in. So the processor is going to be the brain of the computer. That's going to process all of the commands and actions that the computer has to perform. And it's going to perform very well. Hi, Henry. Next up, talk about the RAM. So this is two 8GB sticks of Team T-Force Delta RGB. So it's white to go with the overall white theme of this build, if you haven't figured that out yet. And the top bits light up, which can be controlled via software. So it's going to be a very nice looking motherboard for sure once the RAM gets installed. The white and the RGB, it's going to be very nice. This is 3200 speed, actually. It was cheaper than the 3000 megahertz, which is usually pretty standard. Has good timings. It's 16, 18, 18, 38. If that means anything to you. It doesn't mean much to me. I just know 16 is fine. And it's good enough. So this is going to look really nice in this build. I'm very excited for that. Next, let's talk about the power supply. There's not much to say here. We have an EVGA 500 watt bronze rated power supply. Power supplies are very expensive right now, unfortunately. This one I did manage to get on sale. I believe it was about $35 after the rebate. This is a pretty basic power supply, if I recall. Let's let's see, is this open already? Yeah. So the cables are all black, which is nice. No ketchup and mustard, as it's called. It's just a big cube with wires coming out of it, and all of these will go into powering different parts of the computer. And we don't even have to see it because it will be hidden in the case underneath that large shroud that hides the bottom of it. Next, we'll talk about storage. This is a Crucial 240 gigabyte solid-state drive. I opted for a 2.5-inch drive rather than an M.2 drive, which would mount directly to the motherboard, purely for price reasons. For the size, there's a roughly $10 difference. A little bit of tax essentially added on for the M.2 form factor. But yeah, this will just go in the case, probably behind the motherboard area, and this is what will have Windows installed on it, and then any games that are crucial that want to load faster. So in this case, Amy will probably load up The Sims on this so that she can start it quicker. I've had good experiences with Crucial in terms of their RAM. I have Crucial RAM in my personal system, so I trust them. And then for mass storage, I won't be opening this up because I haven't broken the seal yet, but this is I think a 2 terabyte hard drive, C8 Barracuda, pretty standard. So that will also go in the system for most games and things like that. Next up, we have a 4-pack of 120mm RGB fans from Deepcool. So these, have I broken the seal? I have not opened these, so I'm not going to right now. But these are fans that will go in the case. Probably 3 of them in the front and then 1 in the rear. And they'll be connected to a hub, I believe, that is included. And then that will connect to the motherboard, and then the colors will be adjustable from there. So you can make it any color you choose. Now I've purposefully saved the best piece for last, and that is the graphics card. And I may have gone a little overkill here and gotten something far too large for this system. This is, well, it fits, but it is quite large. So this is the Asus ROG Strix GeForce GTX 1660 Ti. Now this card is one of the nicest 1660 Ti's out there. It was on sale, which was nice, although I noticed the other day, several weeks after I bought this, that it was even more on sale. So that's unfortunate. This is a big, beefy triple fan card, and I love the looks of triple fan cards, but in this case it's going to be very dominating. It's also going to be very powerful. I benchmarked this card, as I do a lot of cards, and it was very close, scarily close, to my GTX 1080 Founders Edition, which MSRP'd for much more than this card. This card is about $300. The 1080 retailed for roughly $550 when it came out. So, price to performance wise, this card is very well positioned right now. In fact, I think that the 1660 Ti is the card that you should buy if you're looking for the best price to performance in a mid-range computer. You can find most for between $250 and $300. And I've built with several. They're amazing cards. Of course, I need to show off this one. So it comes in a nice box with the Strix logo on it. Open that up. Presented with the instruction book. Then we get the card in its anti-static packaging. I will remove this one. So here is the card in all of its glory. This is the fan side, which is not the side you will see most of the time. But we've got this triple fan design. Each of these areas, I believe, lights up. Not sure if it just lights up red or if there's options. Then the back, which is what you'll see most of the time, says Asus Strix, has the logo, all that stuff. Nice smooth backplate. Then we have the rear of the card that has the ports for graphics. And then this is where it plugs into the motherboard itself, which is protected for now. And yeah, and it's heavy. So there's a couple accessories that I purchased for this, which are actually gifts. I did not include these in the price of the system. These are gifts because Amy is my friend. First, just to address the weight, is this GPU bracket. So basically, a heavy graphics card will sag because it's only connected at 2 points. Right here on the motherboard, and right here with a couple screws onto the case, which leaves this side to sag, which is where this comes in. You mount this right here, also on the case, and then a little rubber thing will sit on the end of this, and then it will help hold up this thing and make it rigid. Get out of here. So that will help. And it's from Up Here, which is a company that makes various accessories, including case fans, that I like to use because they're quite cheap and effective. The second thing is because, as cool as this backplate is, it doesn't really fit the aesthetic, and it's black. It's going to be a giant black blob in the middle of a white computer. So, this is a custom GPU backplate from V1 Tech. It has this custom design on it, and a light strip right here. And it will, as the card will attach like this, it will attach on like this, I believe. I think, actually, I'm not sure. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? Oh, unless it diffuses through this entire thing, actually. Yeah. I'm not actually sure. I think the light might diffuse through this entire thing, so perhaps it does go like this. So then the card will look like this from the top, and there'll be an RGB strip along this entire edge. And if you'll notice, this matches the design. Oh, Henry. The design of the case. So we've got these same geometric triangle shapes as the case. This is not a custom design, this is one of the ones that they had available on their website. So that's going to look really nice once it's in there. It's not quite the same white, but once you have the RGB lights in there, you won't really notice. But I think this is going to add a lot and be a lot nicer than seeing this. So So I am personally very excited for this. This is going to be a surprise at the end of the build, so make sure you all stick around to the live stream on probably the 13th of October in order to see the surprise when I pull this bracket and this backplate out to really pull this build together. And to get a little, let's see if I can do this, to get an idea of how tight of a fit this might be. This is the card fitting into the case. So that's about where it will sit in the case. Let's see if I can get this backplate to sit on top of it. This will look a little something like that, which I think looks pretty cool. And now that I see it, there's actually quite a bit of room. You can actually fit fans here, although they'll go between the front and the actual case, I believe. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what this build's going to look like. Obviously it's a little hard to envision until we get there, but I'm very excited about building this computer, and I hope you are too. Like I said, Twitch stream, it's going to be soon, so come and join. I'll post on Twitter with the exact times, or you can follow me, turn on the notifications on Twitch to get notified when I go live, which, by the way, is most Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, streaming Apex Legends, Fortnite, and Magic Arena. So thank you all for watching. Thanks, Henry, for hanging out, not being too much of a nuisance. I'll see you guys all in the next video, and I thank you for joining me for this little show and tell. Have a great night. Goodbye.